Sarac is the Soweto Animal Rescue and Advisory Center that was established in Naledi, Soweto in 2011 by former SPCA Inspector Jerry Silwane. We went to find out what exactly is their job.
Our job is to go and investigate the cruelty cases that are reported to us by the public. Most of the cases that we come across are horrendous animal abuse cases. A dog being stabbed by the owners, neighbors, the neighborly dispute. We step in. Where we can help, we help. But there are cases where we beyond rehabilitation. So talking or educating the public is out of the question. The only solution, due to the graphic of the cases, is to use a stick to prosecute so that the person can have his day in court. But basically what we do is we rescue all these animals that are so brutally abused. We take them for medical treatment if they are in need of such treatment. After rendering such treatment, then we can lay prosecution charges against the perpetrators.
Jerry says Soweto is not an area without tamed animals, but the majority of people were without knowledge of animal care. But since Sarac's inception, they have seen a huge difference in the manner in which animals are treated by locals.
Since the inception of Sarac, we've seen the significant decline in animal cruelty. Many people are now aware of the repercussion of their action if they do abuse an animal. So they now aware that animal has also a soul and can also feel a pain.
On the day of our visit to the center, the Gauteng Veterinary Service was doing a sterilization on all dogs in the area and surrounds.
Today we are doing a sterilization campaign as well as a castration campaign. So female animals get sterilized. That means we take out the uterus and the animal will no longer be able to have puppies. And when you castrate a male animal, you take out his testicles and he can no longer sire a litter of puppies. So basically, it's a small operation. Sometimes there are complications, but generally it is quite safe. And it's a method of controlling the animal population in South Africa, because obviously a lot of animals don't have owners, they run around, and unfortunately, if a female dog or cat gets pregnant, she can have up to about, say, 8 to 12 puppies at a time. And then that just dramatically increases the population. So we try to reduce the population.
Do important campaigns like this reach animal owners in rural areas?
In some of the other provinces, I think that are quite rural and quite expansive, like KwaZulu-Natal or Eastern Cape, there are also a lot of dogs and a lot of cats, but there are not as many veterinarians or as many state veterinary services to help them do sterilization and castration campaigns. So in some areas there are also charities such as Sarac, and they try and help control the population.
What factors are important to consider before the sterilization procedure?
We want the animal to be healthy before we do a sterilization. Basically, we will put the animal under general anesthesia. So we give it drugs that will put the animal under general anesthesia. That means that it is asleep and it cannot feel pain or react to pain when we, for example, make an incision. And we do this by means of drugs which we give into the vein of the animal. And then we try to do the procedure as safely as possible. Unfortunately, as you can see, we are out in a rural setting. This is not a fully equipped theatre, because that's quite expensive. But then we will make sure that the animal is safely asleep, that it's breathing well, that there are no complications, and then we will start the operation. Of course, when we operate, we do cut into the animal's tissue, And we don't want that to be dirty because then the animal can get an infection. So beforehand, we wash the animal and we prepare it with an antiseptic solution such as, we call it rehabilitates and alcohol. And then once the animal is prepared, we place it on the table where we will perform the operation. We place sterilized drapes over the animal with a small window where we want to make the incision over the abdominal area. And then we start the operation.
Though dog fighting is still rife, Seloane has intensified the fight against dog fighting in Soweto and surroundings. He says the community support and contribution are key.
That will be ideal if the public could actually come, spend time with our animals, see how we walk the animals, see how we interact with the animals, see how we feed our animal. That alone might actually change the whole concept on how the animal are being perceived. And apart from that, that will ultimately make them our ambassadors. If they see an animal cruelty, they will be in a position to know that this is not how people should treat their animals. And once they are here, we'll also empower them with skills as well.
The next big project for Seloane is building an animal hospital.
We need all the help that we could get. Sarac depends on the public for survival. We are a public benefit organization, an NPO. So we would love the corporate, to start taking part. We are in the process of building the hospital, which will actually benefit the community.
Sarac trains the youth to assist with tasks like dog walking in the afternoons. And they train children in the community to become ambassadors to help educate animal owners. As Roger Karras said, dogs are not our whole life, but they make our lives whole.